Okay, so the final object that you decided to make use of was the single tear catcher.
Yep.
What made you choose that one?
Well, it intrigues me. It's a very beautiful little object, and of course there's something quite poetic about saving your tears, like memories, that you're not just remembering whatever you are crying about, but you're also remembering your own feelings about it. Because often it is that thing of when you're crying, when something tragic has happened, you remember the tragic event, but you very rarely remember your own feelings.
So the idea of preserving those feelings is a positive thing to you?
Yeah, in a way it is. Because our own emotions and our own personal hardships is what shapes us as humans. So it's, if you could save the tears that you have and catalogue them and explain why you cried them, it's like you would have a catalogue of that explains how you became who you are.
So when you first came across this object, did you immediately think of negative emotions?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't at all reflect negative emotions at all. It doesn't feel negative. It doesn't feel like something for just tragic things, I guess. But of course, crying is very rarely only positive. Tears of joy are quite, well, they're quite rare. But mixed emotions, of course, that's different. But yeah, I like the idea of saving tears of special occasions.
Okay. And while you had it, did anything of interest happen? Any comments or any experiences?
Well, I never used this in public, so I never really had any comments about it. I did try. I purposely watched something very sad on television and cried and decided, yes, I'm gonna use it. But it was a little bit hard to get the tear in because it's such a tiny little hole. So I cried my tear and I got it on the top and I was sitting there waiting for it to sink down, but it never really did. But yeah, I like it, I really do.
So that's obviously something that you would change about it. Is there anything else that you'd change about it?
Yes. I'd make it sealable with something, like a little cork would be really nice. I like that idea. So you seal it in a slightly old-fashioned way.
Or maybe wax or something like that,
yeah.
Mounted wax.
In a way, it's like a ritual. You cry, you savor it, you seal it, you write a little note of what happened and why you cried, and then you put it away in a little cupboard or something, where you have all the other little tear catchers.
And do you think it should only be that sort of size in terms of the amount of tears you capture, or do you think if you're having obviously multiple situations where you're crying, do you think there should be different sizes to allow for different amounts?
I think if there would be any other size than this size, maybe it would be a twin tear catcher for when you're crying with someone.
Okay, so you'd mix the tears together in one.
It's an experience you share with someone that can be quite an important moment.
Okay, that's interesting. Is there anything else you changed about it?
Make it a little bit less wobbly. It doesn't sit very secure in the little holder, but beyond that, we'll just change the actual container a little bit so you could save the tear and so it could actually get into the little bottle. So I like the fact that it's shaped a little bit like a tear as well.
Okay, so things like materials themselves, can you see anything negative about using the wood and the glass in comparison to maybe the glass part would be resin or plastic and the wood could be glass or metal or something like that? What would be the ideal materials for you?
The handle should stay wood. It's nice and warm. It's a nature material that feels nice to hold. The glass probably could be resin. That would have to be tried out, what it feels like to touch and if it feels nice against your skin. But I definitely would not make the handle out of a cold material like glass or metal.
Okay. What about style? Obviously it seems like the handle is quite simple. Do you think it's too simple?
No. I think all the attention should be at the actual container. This is something that you only have in your hand.
Okay.
I like it. When I get it in my hand, my instant reaction is to put it on my face. It's like...
why do you think that is?
It's like when you would give someone a monocle or those binoculars you have in the cinema. As soon as you give them to someone, they want to try them because it's a bit of a novelty. Because I knew, even before I held the object, how it was supposed to be used, I couldn't help myself but to try it in my face.
How does it feel when the first time when you hold it up?
It feels nice. It's cold, but it's not too cold. But yeah, you can... Well, I can't describe it. It's just nice.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to add?
No, I don't think it is.
Okay. Well, thank you for taking the time to have a play with these objects.
Thank you for letting me play with your objects.